Mom? Meg asked as soon as she stepped into the house. Mom, where are you? I'm here in the kitchen. Meg threw her backpack on the couch and ran straight into the kitchen. Meg's mother was cooking while listening to the radio. Mom, I won! Meg announced excitedly. I won! I am now the fastest girl in the school. They are gonna give me a trophy and they have invited you. I can't believe this. I won. Take a breath, honey. Slow down and come here. The mother clutched Meg in her warm embrace. Meg still didn't stop jumping on her toes. I have never won anything in my life. I am gonna carry that trophy everywhere and show it to everybody. Only after I'm done showing it to everyone at my office, replied the mother as she let go of Meg. Sorry, I got flour on your dress. I'll clean it up. Congratulations, dear. You are my hero. Now go change, and I'll fix you something to eat. It must have taken Meg quite a long time to change because a young woman came out instead of the little girl. Meg searched everywhere in the house but didn't see her mom. She stood all confused in the living when the doorbell rang. Meg ran to open the door. Hey, said Sheila, who jumped on Meg as soon as the door opened. Did it work? As if some memories flooded Meg's mind which were not her own. She still felt like she had lived those memories. She clearly remembered driving in the desert and walking through the sand. Of course it did. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for telling me about that ritual. Oh, come on. Sheila hugged Meg tightly as she dropped a single tear. So, where is she? She asked, letting go of Meg. Don't know. She was here just a minute ago. Mom? Hey, Auntie! It's me, Sheila, your other daughter. Mom? Where are you? The echoes of Meg's voice rendered her deaf, as if the voice struck the sky and returned. The living room into a dead, dark cemetery. The gray sky appeared closer than it was. Meg turned around to look for Sheila, but she was gone too. Meg was all alone on this rotten land, covered with unmarked graves. Were they graves? Or were they? Meg's heart jumped, and her eyes opened wide. She was still lying in the sand. Where did these trees come from? She thought. And then, one tree moved. Meg's heart stopped pumping oxygen into her brain when she realized those trees were actually people. An unimaginable fear gave back her strength. She jumped and stood upright. Her heart, pounding inside her chest, could be heard clearly. The shadowy, hooded figures stood silent. They were in numbers, covering up the entire desert, it seemed. As far Meg could see, these figures stood with their covered heads hung low as if in prayer. Megna? A sweet voice called Meg with love. It came from behind her. The song of 1,000 nightingales washed away the fear. Meg turned around and immediately started crying. Mom! Meg almost ran to hug her mother. The woman with angelic grace also held her in a warm embrace. She looked as young as Meg herself. Both women cried their hearts out while the cloaked figures stood unmoved, unfazed. Their heads remained hooded and bowed as if in a silent prayer. Megna dear, what are you doing here? Are you dead? Please, tell me you didn't kill yourself to meet me. No, Mom, Meg replied, half crying, half smiling. I found another way. I have come to see you. She hugged her even tighter. Oh, Mom, I missed you so much. Oh, my child. The mother held Meg's face closer to her. Let me look at you as long as I can. It already feels like I left you ages ago. Mom. Meg just couldn't let go of her mom. It's been so lonely without you. I don't know how I'm even alive. Nothing makes sense to me, Ma. The world, its rules, or the people, nothing makes sense without you. Shh, stop crying, dear. It's okay. You're here now. Do you want to meet Nana? Meg's eyes grew almost double in size with astonishment. Nana is here. Everybody's here, honey. Come with me. The mother started making her way through the silent, cloaked figures, and Meg followed her. While the mother walked carefree, Meg was a little scared. "Who are these people, Mom?" Meg asked, whispering to her mother. "Just ignore them, honey. Are they all dead people?" "Shh, let them be, come on." The mother walked for a few minutes and arrived at the base of a humongous tree. Meg gaped at it and wondered how she missed a tree that big. It almost appeared out of nowhere. The trunk of this tree was broader than a house. Then she saw that it was indeed a house. "Is this—" Meg didn't know what to ask or how. "Yes, dear," said the mother, pointing at the base. "That's where I live." Then she looked up the tree and pointed at the lower branches. Ma, look who's here." Meg's heart jumped when she saw another woman peeking from the branches. In an instant, the woman climbed down the tree and tightly hugged Meg. "Nana, how are you?" Meg said with her eyes filled with tears. "Oh, my little princess. I missed you a lot, my child." Meg couldn't contain her overwhelming emotions. How could she? She was looking at her family that she thought she had lost. How could one even begin to grasp this situation? Having lost someone forever and then meeting them again. "How did you get here, honey?" the mother asked. "You said you found some way." "Yes," said Meg, finally letting go of her grandmother. "Let me explain." Meg narrated the chain of events that led her to the desert. Meanwhile, more members of her family gathered around her. Most of them, Meg had never even met or seen except in pictures. She couldn't contain her tears of joy. It felt like the time had stopped because she talked to them what felt like days. Finally, her mother brought it to her attention. "Meg, dear, I think it's time you head back. You said that you only had an hour, right?" "Yeah, but I don't know what happens if I stay here over more than that." "Whatever it is," Meg's grandmother said, "it cannot be good." "We shouldn't take any risk," said the mother. "You're right, Mom. Let's go." Meg grabbed her mother's hand and tried to walk away, but her mother didn't move. She looked at Meg with confusion. Meg turned back with the same confusion on her face as well. "What are you doing, honey?" "What do you mean? Let's go home. You don't have to stay here anymore." Meg's mother quickly pulled her hand away. "I'm not going back," she declared. "What? Why not? That's why I came here, to bring you back." "I don't want to go back." Meg couldn't find words to express herself. She couldn't believe her mother didn't want to come with her. She struggled to contain her emotions. "Mom, what are you saying? I can't leave you here, please. Come with me." "No, I can't leave my mother. I waited so many years to be reunited with her. I want to stay with her." "Then bring her with us too." "I am not going back," Meg's grandmother quickly replied. "I have nothing there. My entire family is here. I won't leave my parents." Meg's head started spinning. She didn't feel her legs. The world didn't make sense, the living or the dead. She was so happy only until a moment ago. Now her heart ached with the pain it had for 5 months. It only occurred to her that she was on her knees when her mother kneeled right next to her. "Megna, my dear," the mother said, "we are all happy here. There are no troubles or any pain here. It's a beautiful world. We lived a lifetime there to finally get here. We have lived our share of life. Who would want to go back there?" Meg stared at her mother with agitation. "Well, then I'm not going either," she said like a little girl throwing tantrums. "I will live here with you. Now, there's nothing for me there." Meg stared at her mother with agitation. "Well, then I'm not going either," she said like a little girl throwing tantrums. "I will live here with you. Now, there's nothing for me there."